Hey all, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Sorry I started a couple minutes late. You know, usual technical stuff. Needed to grab some water too, so. How y'all doing? It's Friday, so that's good. Of course, you know, with everything going on, it's not like we can really do much. So I'm gonna do what I usually do here on the stream. Have a little sip, and let's do some work. So this is my site, ryanharris.dev, which you may or may not have seen. I published a new article today, despite the date. I actually published today about the React hook use memo. So feel free to check that out. But as you can see, the site needs just a little work in general, and Ryan Warner Codes has been nice enough to, hey, what's up, Chris? How's it going? Yeah, so Ryan Warner Codes and I did a stream previously where we worked on redesigning some of this. And in case you weren't on that stream, let's pull it up. Haven't looked at it much since then, but we're moving more towards something like this. So I'm waiting on some graphics from another designer I'm friends with. Yeah, Ryan, this is looking good. Like, I haven't opened this in a while, but it makes me feel so much better. Yeah, Chris, I'm done working for the day too, so grab a beer. Yeah, Chris, if you want to learn more about Figma, Ryan Warner Codes is a Figma expert, so he can definitely help. So yeah, this is what we're going to be doing eventually on the stream. I just wanted to pull it up so you know why I'm not fixing some things right now versus other stuff. So let's jump into the GitHub repo. I've just been logging issues essentially over time. And I just log them throughout the day, whether I'm in my work account or not. Okay, here we go. First thing I need to do today. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that's not something I want to save to Pocket, but okay. So yeah, like I was saying, throughout the day, I have to use a work account for GitHub, but despite that, I use it to log issues in my my repo for my site. So, okay, cool. So now we're logged back in as me. Cool. So here's an issue I just fixed. This is actually something probably need to do sooner than later. That might be a different stream though. As you can tell, my open graph images for my older blog posts, which were written before I had this, spill over the edge. I thought I had aligned these tags using Jason Langsdorff's NPM package, but clearly it didn't work. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to move these over here and move the tags over there just to be safe, but we'll worry about that at a later date. I don't think that's super pressing. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to hop into the repo, just a Gatsby site, so yarn. It's been a while since I've been in here, actually. Let's see what the script is, actually. Cool. So package JSON, yarn run develop, which runs Gatsby develop. Okay. Yarn run develop. Actually ran this earlier, so if it doesn't work now, I'm gonna be mad. No, Chris, I've never really done that. None of the places I've worked out thus far have ever really done much A/B testing. One place I worked, we did A/B testing on the complete old platform from 10 years ago versus the one we built that year, which of course, not really going to give you too much info there. But I've never done it for my personal site. Yeah, I bet. All right, so here's the site running locally. I'm just going to start going through these. So update site meta, and I think this we can actually see more about this in the open graphic. So this is the open graph image that renders on social media. Here's my description. I want to update this because it's not accurate. Or it is accurate, but I just want to change it. Okay, so this is the one we're going to work on. I'm just going to work off the master branch because nobody else contributes to this repo except me. But if you're watching and trying to learn Git best practices, don't do this. So naturally, with that said, I'm going to do it. Yeah, Chris, the docs are really, really good. And I find the dev experience just really good. This is my site here. And so I forget if I used a starter, to be honest. But so we have our source files, and then all of my blog posts are in this content folder inside of the blog subdirectory. Each article has its own folder with an MDX file in it and any images. And then through the magic of Gatsby and Gatsby plugins, that all gets processed into my blog posts. And my pages actually work similarly. They're MDX files that do the same thing. So they're just simple markdown that is able to actually render components in it. When using the blog starter, the start URL points to the blog page. How could you change it? Oh, Horatio, yeah, enjoy your stream. I'm definitely going to have to catch one of your English language ones soon, so let me know. Yeah, so the index page here is the one that renders as the home page, and by default what they've done is they've set that up to do some queries to get your posts, and then that gets rendered in the markup here. But you could move this if you want. Like if you rename this blog.js, this would be available at /blog. So the page names get automatically mapped to the route, and then you can move things around. So like talks is an MDX file, but if I were to rename that, I would be able to access that page at a different route. Okay, so to update this metadata, I believe it's just in, yeah, it's in here. And Chris, this is when you're working with Gatsby, a lot of the work that you do, besides like obviously the components and pages, you have a config file and a node file. And the config file is basically just a JavaScript object that has like metadata, title, things like this. And excuse me, and if you saw in my blog roll page, we're doing a GraphQL query, which I'm still learning GraphQL myself. Luckily, I'll show you in a minute, there's a built-in playground. But this site metadata information is coming directly from the site metadata field here in the config. So a lot of the stuff that you're going to do in terms of configuring, routes, I did this for a navigation. You don't actually need to do this to set up your pages. But so that's why when you see my open graph image, this is what's rendered below it. But I'm actually going to change this. So I'm David Fauna. I'm going to pull up my Twitter page. So writing, organizing, streaming. Okay, I want to make sure I mention all that. So David Fauna, organizer at Reactadelphia, streamer on Twitch. If I could spell, streamer at I guess I don't need to put writing because usually when you see this, it's going to be a link to one of my articles, so that'd be sort of redundant. So coding, writing, organizing, streaming, member of the Live Coders. Yeah, that's new. Shout out to anybody in the chat who's on the Live Coders team. I just joined yesterday. Super excited to be part of the community and work with some of the super talented folks on the team. Like I was watching the bald bearded builder yesterday, Michael Jolly, and he was doing some stuff with Azure functions and chat commands, triggering sound effects and stuff. It's crazy. Yeah, Chris. So I'm assuming you're asking about Live Coders. The Live Coders is a stream team on Twitch. We have a new website as of yesterday. And basically, it's a group of streamers who stream all sorts of tech development type stuff. And it's open. You can apply. Basically, you have to issue a pull request or file an issue in their GitHub repo. But so I did that the other day with the encouragement of some folks on the team who I know, specifically Robert Tables right here and Ben Lannon, who actually built this site. And so here I am on the team now, happy to be. So I'm gonna actually add that into my description. Streamer at and member. And we're at the Live Coders. I believe that's the Twitter. Let's check that out. Yes, it is. Cool. Yeah, so Chris, obviously Suze Hinton is on the team. She's like, I love her stream. I could watch her talk about her Vim setup probably all day, even though I'm not a Vim user. Jason Langsdorff is on there as well. Learn with Jason is great. Loved her. Learn with Jason. Cool. Okay, so David Fauna, organizer at React Adelphia, streamer at Twitch, member of the Live Coders. I think that's all I need to do. So let's commit that. I'm gonna remove this VS Code because basically all I did was I set colors with Peacock. Remove rf.vs code. So git add, update, description, and site meta data. Cool. I'm not going to push it because that'll trigger build in Netlify, so I'll push it all when we're done streaming. But yeah, so that's the first one. That's pretty easy. Close issue. And I was surprised that today I tweeted to see what everyone wanted me to work on. I was surprised that more people wanted me to work on this than on my live stream package. So that's cool. Hey Marcus, how's it going? Dejvid, sorry I didn't see your question. Am I using Gatsby mostly because SEO? Yeah, it's page speed, developer experience. There's a lot of benefits to using it, but I write React all day, so the ability to build stuff in React is great for me. I'm actually gonna do this ticket next. So if you were on the last stream, you'll remember that I published my first NPM package, which is cool. And actually James Quick from Auth0, who's actually also a new member of the Live Coders team, used this on his stream either yesterday or Wednesday. And so I was in the chat watching him use it to make sure that it worked. And we got it working, a little bit of a hiccup, but yeah, it was super cool to see somebody do it. Brian Warner, emote plans. Yeah, I would love to do that. I actually, now that I hit affiliate status, I really need to learn more about some of the functionality that I have in terms of making the chat experience better. So I'm going to yarn add React live stream. So here I'll clear this so y'all can see. Yarn add React live stream. So this is going to install the package that I was building. And essentially what it does is it allows you to embed a responsive iframe that has your Twitch, YouTube, or Mixer stream in it. And it only renders when you go live. So, and I added some functionality at the request of Ryan Warner. And what it actually does now is you can pass in an optional component to render when you're offline. So what it sort of looks like here is, and this is from the README, and I'll link this in chat for y'all in case anybody wants to take a closer look. But essentially, you import React from React Livestream because it's package. So let's do that first. Cool. And if we check our node modules, we should see that there is, yeah, there it is, React Livestream. So that's what we just installed. That's what I built on the last stream. And let's collapse all this stuff. Cool. And let's go back to Firefox. So this is what it looks like in use. It's essentially just a React component that can take any of these props. The only required one here is the platform, but for it to work, you need to pass in your info here. So what I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna actually need to set up a Twitch API key for myself, and then I'm gonna need to add it to my Gatsby environment configuration. So I'm gonna have to do that off screen. Hey, what's up, Vinny Code? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for hopping in on a Friday. So let's set this up first the way we would, as if it was gonna work, but it's not because I have to set up the key. So here's what our sort of component API looks like, and we're gonna do Twitch here because, as you can tell by the fact that you're watching the stream, I stream on Twitch now. I did do Mixer for a little while. Don't hold it against me. I like Mixer, cool platform. Just a lot of the Party Corky crew are here on Twitch. So I gotta pass it my username. And what this does is essentially, and actually if you want, let's pull up the repo real quick. So here's the repo on GitHub, and I'll link this in chat too. So we have essentially one file, and it exports a React component called React Livestream. That's what we're importing because it's the default export here. And essentially, let's see. So we have an effect that runs the first time the component renders. It looks to see what platform prop you passed in. Ooh, is this new GitHub? Is this going to take me to that function when I click on it? That'd be rad. Hey, Jose. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Happy Friday. Yeah, so like I'm doing here, I'm passing in a platform prop of Twitch and my username right now. But what it's going to do is the first time this component renders, it's going to check this prop, see that we're passing in Twitch, and then run this function. So let's go up here to process Twitch stream. So if we don't have a client ID or an API key and a username passed in as props, they're not required, but if they're not passed in, we're not doing anything except logging an error. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to fetch this data. And what we do is we make a call to the Twitch API. And essentially, we make the call. We come back with a response. We parse out some fields here. And basically, at the end, if this person is live currently, we set our state of the component to true. Because that's what we use down here in the render. If the state is live equals true, render a div with an iframe in it. And the reason we have a div here is because that's for responsive styling. Otherwise, if we're not live, render the offline component or nothing. So right now it would render nothing. So that's a TLDR of how this works. And so, like I said, I'm going to need to add a key here. So I'm going to quickly look at the Gatsby docs, because for Gatsby, you have to, I think, prepend your environment variables. So let's check that out. Docs, environment. So basically, yeah, you create a .env file, and then you have to prepend it with Gatsby here. Oh, thanks, Jose. Yeah, one of the things I really need to invest in is some lights to even out the exposure. But on a sunny day, I have a big blind over here covering the window, so I get like a diffused light on this side. Yeah, I actually went to film school and worked in the film industry for a while, so we can get nerdy about lighting if you want to do it. All right, so here we're going to do a .env, but I'm not going to show you what I'm doing with it because you're going to see a key. Actually, I'll leave this here for right now. Okay, so what we would need to do is Gatsby, and then let's move this over here. Let's get rid of our sidebar. Yeah, so Gatsby Twitch client ID equals. Okay. And so I believe we can access this. Yeah, process.environment.node environment. Where? Yeah, so okay, cool. So basically what I would do here is this to get this value outside or out of our environment file, I'm going to need to access the process environment, that value, which has no value right now. Has no value. So I'm going to open the Twitch developer portal. And I'm going to bring this off screen. You're not going to be able to see this, so apologies. Okay, so basically what I'm doing here is they're in the Twitch dev console for building either integrations or actual Twitch extensions. You just need to create a key. So cool. So I created a key, but I'm not going to be able to show this to you. So give me 1 second. I'm going to move it over here. So it should be that. Okay, close that. Okay, now I can bring this back. It's in my environment file. Let's close that as well. Okay, so now, because I changed the environment file, I believe I'm going to need to actually restart my server. Generated, yeah, of course. So when you change like configuration type stuff or environment variables within your Gatsby site, you do need to restart the Webpack server here. However, if you're just updating files or components like you would regularly, it auto-overloads. So let's see. So something is not working. Requires a Twitch client ID and Twitch user prop name. Let's see, did I spell this right? Hold on, let me take this off screen. Gatsby, Twitch, client, ID, cool. Save that, do that. What does it do now? Yeah, this is exactly what happened to James. First, we got a warning. We need a key. Okay, that's for our articles. So this is an error that I created in the package saying, hey, if you didn't pass these values, then we can't do anything for you. We need a client ID and a username in order to use this this sort of NPM package that I created. So I have a feeling what's happening is that it's not reading this variable. So I'm wondering if there's anything I need to set up in the... I'm wondering if I need to set anything up inside the Gatsby config here, but I don't think I do. Yes, link slumps. Yeah, Gatsby uses React, yes. Oh, cool. Yes, so I created an environment. My question is, maybe I need to do... Like, maybe I need to do this development versus production. Let's try that. I think that's what James did in his stream. Let's see. Okay. Sorry about this, folks. You know, secret keys and all. No, Link, in the Gatsby documentation, what you do is you prepend it with Gatsby. Where did I create this file? Well, so in this case, the variable is API URL. You just have to prepend it with Gatsby. Yeah. Environments which are prefixed with Gatsby will become available to the browser in JavaScript. Yeah, that's what it says right here. Yeah, no worries. Appreciate the. I am not beyond needing an assistance here. A file or folder .env already exists. Okay, so I created a .env file here in my repo. However, for some reason, inside of VS Code, I cannot see it. So it is there. Cool. Yeah, I think it looks like you can do either, but I'm going to change it to .env. I just don't know why it's not showing up inside of my VS Code, so I'm just going to close it real quick and then open it. Come on. Where did it go? It's somewhere in the repo. I know it is. Gatsby Twitch client ID. Yeah, but where is this file? Show in sidebar. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna remove the .env file. Okay, for some reason it does not show up at all. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Jose, yeah. I think I don't know why I would be hiding it. Like, it's in my git ignore, but it should be there. Because, like, I'm able to open it right out of... Okay, whatever. List, AL. So we have an environment.development. Yeah, so Link, I'm not... I know I'm going to have to restart the server, but what's happening is that my VS Code is not showing me this file. Okay. All right. So we touch .env. So that should create a new .environment file for us. It's right here. It's always the little things, right? So yeah, .env environment variable files are ignored in the git ignore, which is makes sense, but it should still show up in the file explorer in VS Code, which it's not. Okay. And so it is in my directory, as we see here, but it does not even register in VS Code. I'm going to quit VS Code completely. So let's see. Okay. See if we can add a new file. A file or folder already exists. I wonder if this is because of the fact that there's like a hidden Webpack config. Yeah, link, that's how you name it in the... So what you do is you do this. Oh, you know what? Jose, you know why it's hiding it? It's because that's exactly what I did. Yep. That's exactly what I did. Right here. And it's because, link, it should be a string by default. Yeah, Jose, so I did that because Robert Tables actually did his Egghead application with a tip about that. Gatsby, Twitch. Twitch client ID. All right, let me copy this one more time. Sorry, y'all, that I had to do this all off screen. And now I can't type. Okay, Twitch developers, bring you over here. Dashboard. Jose, I'm glad you called that out because that would have driven me crazy, and I did it to myself. So, okay, so. Let's see. So yeah, it's still not reading it. And this is weird. I'm gonna have to fix this on another stream. This error should not be happening. This prop type is actually defined as a string, so why it's asking for a function makes no sense. But that error is actually being caused by the fact that we're not getting our client ID and our user prop name. So let's go back into our code. We have Twitch. We have Ryan C. Harris. So those are both coming in for sure. So it must be the fact that our Gatsby Twitch client ID is not. Yeah, link. Let's try making it a string. It should be a string by default, but JavaScript. It seems to have broken it further. Okay. You know, fun times, fun times. So it says for project environment files, you want to access in a client-side browser, you can define an environment config file, which would be a .env, or you can define development or production. So I don't think we need to define one or the other because we need this at all times. You could also define OS. So this is what it looks like for OS. Okay. Project environment variables that you defined in .env will not immediately be available in your node scripts. Okay, so that's for like Gatsby node, Gatsby browser. Right. Okay. So these are not prepended at all. Yeah, so they are interpolating it, but it's just because they're putting it into this string concatenation. I don't think you actually need to do that. In Node, your site has access to API key. Yeah, no, I don't think it is getting loaded. Let me here. What I'm gonna do I'm gonna have to do this off screen again, or else you'll see the. But what I'm going to do is I'll actually log this out in the browser. What's going to happen, I bet, is it's going to be undefined. Yeah, it's undefined. Interesting. Yeah, it's undefined. This is exactly what happened to James Quick when I was watching his stream. Same problem. And that was the hiccup I was referring to earlier. It wasn't a hiccup using the package. It was actually a hiccup just getting Gatsby to detect the environment variables. So since it's undefined, let's close that. Let's bring this back over here. See, you can see right here it's undefined. I'm going to comment that out so I don't accidentally expose it again. Okay. Let's, oh, you know what? Let's Gatsby clean. Okay. So there's this cache directory that Gatsby creates to make the development experience good. Yeah, Link, you do need to backtick variables for strings, but these environment variables should be strings by default. I tried backticking, by the way. I tried it. It did not work. Yeah, no, it didn't work. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove this cache directory because it could be we're getting cached here. And that's what's happening, is that we're not getting the environment variable because Gatsby's relying on its own internal cache. And that's a quick tip for anybody who's new to Gatsby. If you're working and stuff is not reloading, you should get rid of that cache directory. There is a Gatsby command. I believe it's Gatsby clean, but you can also just delete the directory itself. Yeah, Link, I mean, I totally understand. It's, if, like, the example I was looking at a couple moments ago had it in backticks and wrapped in the brackets and the $sign, but that was because they were interpolating that value into a string for a URL, which we're not going to do. We're just passing a direct string. Hey, Ben Halverson, welcome to the stream. Yeah, if we look at the package here, Jose. So they don't have it in the yarn scripts, but if we do, I'm running ZSH, so that might be part of it. Let's see. I don't think I have the Gatsby CLI installed. Yeah, that's why Gatsby clean didn't work. Yeah, now it's cool. All right, let's see. Okay, cool. So now what we did is we booted up our server again. same thing. Yeah, no, you don't need it installed globally, Jose, because I'm going to go ahead and assume if we look in here that Gatsby is in our node modules. Yeah, all the Gatsby stuff is in here. So in the script, in the package JSON, when they're saying Gatsby, this refers to the node module executable here within the repo. Chris, that's a great, if you want to get into streaming, that's a great thing to work on, just because, like, if you're going to work on it anyway, you might as well do it online, right? Let other people hang out and learn from you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, the yarn, when you, in this context, when I'm running yarn, it's, and a yarn and a command, yarn run build will run this, and this will use the local Gatsby inside of our project node modules, whereas you could, if you wanted to, set up scripts that'll run it out of your local system global Gatsby executable. Yeah, so Ben, this is a plugin I built, so I hope that's not the case. Process Gatsby environment. Oh, Jose, without the scripts, it'll look for the. Will it look for the binary locally in the repo always? Is that the case? Let's try that. That's cool. Yeah, it'll look for, it's looking for the environment variables, just, it should be finding them in the document.getElementID. ID. Okay, that's something completely different. Now I broke something. Yeah. See, when I do backticks, it just breaks. Okay. So this looks like we're going to need to do a little Googling. Gatsby environment variable not working. And if you're watching the stream and you are new to development or not a developer by trade, this is pretty much what you do all day. Yeah, see, I don't want to do that. Well, I could set the environment, but that's if you have two different environment variables. Yeah, Ben, let me try. Yarn run build. And so if you're not familiar with Gatsby, what this is doing is it's doing a production build for us as if we were going to do a deployment. And it's creating files inside of this public directory here. So this public directory is all of our compiled files that are the static files that we actually serve to our users. Cool. So you can see it just ran through the build, did everything. And then now Ben was talking about yarn run serve. What this will do is instead of serving us our source files via like a Webpack server, it's actually going to serve for us. It's going to set up a little web server and actually going to serve these static files in the public directory to us. So this is a good step if you want to double check that you're, and even you can see here it runs on a different port than the development server. But this is a good way to check that your site works properly before you deploy it. Yeah, see, I'm getting the same error. So I don't think it's the way I have my package configured. Run, develop. Okay, before we do that, we'll bring this over here one time. What if we don't prepend it? Well, I guess we have to, according to the docs. Okay, I'm going to look at this one more time. Make sure I didn't read it incorrectly, because I was skimming it. Development. production. You can also have a look at the environment variables code sandbox. Let's look at that. Oh, are you really? Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm sort of surprised it's not working as intended. Yeah, I don't care about that. Okay. So they have a dot development. They don't have a dot production. Let's see, where is this reference? Is there a find all in Code Sandbox? Is there a search? Find? Find all? Nope. That just made me go full screen. Okay, Gatsby welcome message. Are they where do you see that? Are they was that in the index page? Yeah, they are interpolate. Oh, that's because they're rendering it out, though. But if it's a string, I think that's because it's just being displayed, but... Interesting. But yeah, Gatsby welcome message. Okay, let me try... so, clear this. List AL. So we have this Gatsby.env. Let's... move it to .env.development. And if you're not familiar with that command, that's the move command. You can move files and directories. Oh, what's up, Dom? Welcome to the stream, man. How you doing? The move command, also you can use it to rename files. So I basically just said, take this and move it to this. And since it's not in a new directory, then it's just going to rename that file. Okay, cool. So that's been deleted. So Dom, what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to get I'm having some issues with Gatsby in terms of environment variables. I'm trying to set up my own live stream package on my Gatsby site. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to remove the cache again. Yarn run develop. Let's see if it picks up the variable from our environment file. Now that's .env.development. How's your Friday been going, Dom? Is this... Oh yeah, you're gonna do like a live coders styles, like we were just looking at this earlier, that Ben Lannon built, the live coder site. Dom, I mean, I feel like there's some room in the D's here if you're interested, but let's just check out your boy. There he is, your boy. Cool. Flav Creations. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. You're on. Did you so Ben just put this up the other day. If you put you can put in a PR to fill out your profile page. So I did that yesterday. So now I have like a nice little, links to my socials, a little blurb I wrote about myself, schedule, that type of stuff. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. So it built. Wow. Everything blew up. Yeah, see, this is the error that I was getting, or James was getting when he tried setting this up, but it has nothing to do, like, this is a prop in the package that's defined as a string. The error occurred, so the error occurred inside of my package, cool. Okay, let me double check that this is actually logging out. And I'll move this off screen so you don't all see my key again. Okay. So now it is reading the key because it's logging it out. Cool. Maybe I do need to interpolate it. Is that what James had to do? Hey, what's going on? Well, this is very strange. Strange times. Okay. Yeah. So now it is, let me check this again, logging all this out. Logging it out. So it has the value. I'm going to log out the type of, okay. Let's double check that it's a string. Yeah, it is a string. So we don't need to interpolate it into the Twitch client ID prop because it is a string already coming out of the environment variable. Cool. But then why is it blowing up? Frustrating. Yeah, dude, we tried to order groceries yesterday and it was just like, nah, no time. So now I know the environment variable is coming in, so this is even more frustrating. Maybe I need two. Do I need a... So we're in development, so I should not need a production environment variable. Stop this server. Let's try removing the cache again. Let's see, is there anything in here? I'm gonna blow away the node modules. Okay, hope this works. I'm gonna be not so happy if it works on James's site and not mine. Spent some time building it. All right, so we have the right version. I know that because I had originally did some dumb stuff and it didn't work because of it. All right, so we did that. Let's yarn run develop. I feel like this should have been a 5-minute issue, but here we are 45 minutes later. All right. Got 9 viewers in the stream right now. What's up, everybody? Who's lurking? Robert Tables is lurking. What's up, Robert Tables? Okay, looks like our build's about to finish. And actually, the build is much faster because I took out a lot of images from the site because they were serving little purpose. Okay. Let's just double check that I'm importing it. So, for some reason, I'm getting a linter error. Could not find a declaration file for module React live stream. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, you know why? I bet. Let's see, yarn or cd code React live stream yarn on link. Okay, so I'm just double checking I don't still have this linked. Yarn on link. Yeah, live stream. Used to call it Twitch plugin, just making sure we have all that. Okay. Aha. So it looks like it might have still been linked. So what I have is this React live stream directory. I was linking that to this test React app. That's how I was doing my development essentially for all this. I wanted to render and test that it was working inside a React app. Let's see, does that help us at all? Let's again remove the node modules. Let's remove the cache and the node modules. Because I want to reinstall them fresh. Because if the issue had to do with linking, then maybe this will fix it now. And how does, if anybody in the chat has thoughts on my mic, how does it sound to you? I'm considering getting a mic arm sooner than later. And just want to think what you thought. Do you want to hear my dulcet tones closer like this all the time? Or do you want to keep hearing them out here? All right, Jose, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was looking at Chris from Scotch.io. He was tweeted a picture of his setup earlier, and it was just like, damn, I need to step up my game. All right, yarn, run, develop. Yeah, I need the lights and the mic arm. I think that's my... Yeah, I think the mic... I think the biggest thing is the lights, but... I'd love to get a stream deck and all that stuff, but... Yeah, Chris, I was looking at those. I was hoping maybe I could use some of my cinema knowledge from my past career and opt for some more cost-effective solution, but the fact that you can hook them up to the stream deck and all that stuff seems like it might be worth it. I do have a DSLR though that a friend of mine is borrowing right now, but when I get it back, I'm gonna get a capture card and I'm gonna start using that as my webcam. Okay, so it wasn't the linking. This is, I don't know what is going on here. Oof. Why? Let's see. If I take this out, does it fix the whole thing? Yep. Shit. Yeah, I mean, I used to light films like that when I was in school or trying to make low budget stuff. Why does this... So for some reason, React Livestream from React Livestream. But for some reason, it's declared, but its value is never read. Okay. If we take this down here, which is what we had, and then it breaks everything. Yeah, it does. You can get great, like, there's all sorts of ways to diffuse light, adjust the quality of it, the intensity of it, the color of it. It's essentially all you're doing. Failed prop type. Why? Why does it want a mixer channel ID when that is not required at all? Let's do this. Seems to think it wants a function. And that's not what fixes it. Mixer type, it must be a function. I just passed it a function. How is it defined and never used? Oh, that must be an old error. This doesn't make any sense. Location provider. Hold on a second. I want to see if this... Let's try it in just a random component. See if anything happens. Okay. Does it not recognize this as a React component? Like, okay. So it's not the page that it's on. Well, that's great. Okay. Oh yeah, which one you rocking, Flav? You know when you create an NPM package and you can't use it yourself? That's the feeling. This is what that feeling looks like. I know it works. I watched somebody else set it up. Yep. Source files. Index. This is what we're looking for. React Livestream, React Livestream, default export, mixer channel, looking for a number but not required. Like, come on. Come on. Okay. What if I just do this? Does it still break? Okay, let's get rid of... Let's do something, I guess, here. That actually works. So we're getting an error about there not being keys for each of our blog posts. Okay, so what we want to do is, this is graphical, Chris. This is like the GraphQL Explorer that allows you to write queries or like set them up here and have it auto-generated. So if we look at the bottom of our page here, we have a query. I'm just going to copy the whole thing. I'm going to paste it in here and run it. So this is what generates our page data. And the reason I'm doing this is I just want to see what fields I have access to that I can use as a key. So front matter, body. I guess I could use the date, maybe. Could use the slug. Let's try that. Let's see if that stops this error. So here we're iterating over our posts and creating links. So we're creating a set of links. Well, it's article tags that are wrapped in a Gatsby link. Yeah, I did a bit of Maven stuff at my last job. I did some Java stuff, but I am 1000% not a Java developer. So these articles have an ID. Where is that coming from? ID? Yeah, okay. So there is a unique identifier for each node, but apparently we are not parsing that. So trying to use node.id here is not going to work. So let's see what happens now. We should no longer have that error. Okay. This is an error from my package. Each child in a list should have a unique key. So we have given them each a unique key. I wonder if it's asking for a unique key for the links. Nope, still wants unique key. Check the render method of blog index, okay. So it's all a set of links that have an article within it. So if we have a node.id, I would think that that would do it. I'm going to comment out my thing. Okay, that's super unhelpful because it's minified. They do have unique keys. That's the fun part here, is that they do have unique keys. Like, each one is a node. Yep, so they all have IDs. So I'm gonna, maybe this is what it was yelling about. Maybe if I do article and link, because the keys were actually the same when I had just the article.node ID, or just the node.id, I'm sorry. Let's try that. Yeah, I started with C++ when I was in high school. Well, that wasn't my first programming language, but I did C++ in high school. Been a long time. Don't remember any of it. Ooh, check the render. I'm having a day, y'all. This is one of those days where just nothing seems to work right. Like, where else do I need a key? Like, that's the only place that I'm creating a list. Oh, here it is. So it has nothing to do with these. Can just leave that as is. Actually, we don't need to do this because we're just taking it off the node. That's why it was working before. So here, we're creating a list of tags. So let's log out the tag. Maybe it has an ID on it that we can use, like a unique identifier. It does not. So we got tags, okay. So to make a unique key here, this is not the best practice, I wouldn't say, but we don't have another field, so I'm gonna actually interpolate. So I'm gonna say key, or tag, I'm sorry. And we're gonna use the index number from the iteration here in the map, and that's gonna create a something like this: 1, tag 2, tag 3, tag 4. And that should satisfy React's compiler. Except it doesn't. TGIF, am I right? Where else am I listing? I'm not doing that anywhere else. Dot map. And here. Let's put these other keys back. Okay. A tale of two streams. Last week we streamed and published an entire thing. This week, something's happening, I guess. Dom, I'll probably be on until about 7. So about another 45 minutes, maybe. There we go. We fixed it. Yay. Something works. Yes. Okay. I'm just going to remove this since it doesn't work. And I don't want it in our diff. Okay. Cool. No errors. So I'm gonna add just that one file, the index. Add index, and we're fix React warning about unique keys. Okay, we fixed something. Okay. So let's see, React live stream. So we have the right version of my package. try again. I'm also going to check our issue. Maybe there's something else we can work on and get something done. Oh, this is actually this. That's the same issue, I think. Yes, it is. So I can close one of these. Duplicating my issues. Close. Okay. Go back. Oh, yes, this is an important one, actually. Let's do this real quick. So if we go to my bio component, that is this right here. If we pull up the React Component Explorer, you can see, where is it? Yeah, so this is my bio component. Dom, do you mean my, you like my code theme? Like my VSCO theme? My VS Code theme? Yeah, it's, I use Dracula, I believe is what I'm using right now. Yeah, this one, Dracula. I also like Monokai. I like Night Owl too, but I always come back to Dracula. Actually, let's have some fun here. It's Friday. Let's do Shades of Purple. How do y'all like that? I know he's not in the stream, but shout out to Cody Casey. This is one of his faves. So Gatsby config. I have all my social info here. So I want to add a new one for Twitch. Ryan. Oh, hey, what's up, Chris? Yeah, I mean, Jose, I think I have a problem. It's called I love new themes, and I switch them all the time. If I'm feeling like I'm hitting my head against the wall when it comes to a bug, what do? I start changing themes, start changing fonts. I can't settle. It's just how I am. All right, so in the bio component, we have a static query. So, actually, they're not in here. This is not the right spot. They are in our social. Yeah, social menu. That makes sense. So we're going to need to get an icon for Twitch. But first, what we're going to do is... Here is use static query hook. And what this is... Oh, cool. Jose, I'll check that out. So... In page components in Gatsby, you run a query like this, like we saw in our, it's at the bottom of the page usually, but you create a page query, and then this gets, the data that returns from this query gets fed into your page as props. But in components, you have to use a hook called use static query, and it does the same thing, but it then feeds this data. Where is it? Somewhere in here we're using it. Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, because it's a hook now, I think it automatically becomes props. Yeah, so here, data equals use static query. The results come back and get assigned to the variable data. And then here, what we're doing is we're just destructuring off the social information so that we can render out our icons and whatnot. So I'm going to want to do the same thing here. And it's going to be... social.youtube social. Okay, yes. So I want to do an interpolation. We need backticks here because I'm going to do twitch.tv/ and then like I said, we have our information coming in to this component via the static query. So what we need to do here is we actually need to add Twitch so that we have that info. And then we want to do this. So like I said, we're querying for all of those items. And then we're getting a variable called data. And then off of the data site metadata, data site metadata, we have an object called social that we're assigning to a variable. And then we have these fields within it, which are all the social information. Hey, Angel, how's it going? And to just demonstrate that, so social has GitHub, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. So we have these same things here. And now we want to come down and say Twitch TV. So it's going to be social dot Twitch. Social icon link. We'll leave the YouTube logo for now because we don't have our Twitch one set up, but let's just confirm that it's there. So this last one is a link. As you can see down in the bottom corner, it's a link to Twitch, and if I click it, it'll open my Twitch page. Okay, so that works. So now we need to go to Font Awesome, and I'm just importing SVGs, but they have an NPM package if you wanted, you could do it that way. I'm just gonna continue doing it this way. Angel, how's your day going? How's your Friday? All right, so we're gonna download this SVG, save it, grab it out of here, open another Finder window. Now we're gonna go into my project, ryanharris.dev, content. And like the blog, stuff lives in here. We also have assets. So we're going to want to take this, Twitch SVG, and we're also going to want to rename it, just sort of to follow the pattern, Twitch logo, easy. And now we can get rid of all this. Yeah, no worries, Tom. Good luck. Let us know when you have some more of those React Query videos to check out. Yeah, Angel, my day's going pretty well. I was trying to use my own NPM package on my site, and it didn't work. So that's always fun. Yeah, man, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. So we got Twitch logo now. And this is going to be Twitch logo. Cool. And just like all of our other icons down here, we'll just do that. Boom. Hey, it's that easy, right? It's like that. That's the way it is. And so the reason that we're doing this is we're just importing the SVG and giving it a name, and then we're rendering it like it's a component. Yeah, me too. I watched somebody else on their stream earlier this week get it working on their site, so who knows? All right, so now we have the Twitch icon. That's cool. So we're gonna want to add that, add our new image, and then I'm also gonna add our Gatsby config because that's where our Twitch info is. And I'm going to add the component that actually has the icon in it. And I'm going to commit that and say add Twitch icon to social menu. Cool. So that's another little thing that we can say, hey, we closed this issue. Issues. Let's go back. This actually would be nice. This is one that we should take care of, actually. So inside of my articles, I have these links, and I have not styled them. So they look terrible. So what we're going to do is we're going to style that real quick. And if I remember correctly, I'm using what's called Theme UI, which is I'm actually using two packages for styling. One is called Emotion, and that is, let's see, if you look in throughout my app or site, you'll see stuff like this. And that's Emotion. Basically, it's allowing me to write CSS blocks in JavaScript. And then I can take these variables and assign them to the style prop of an element. And so that's being done via Emotion. And then I'm also using another package called Theme UI. So that's what allows me to create this theme configuration. Yeah. Yeah, no, I CSS in JS, Chris, is like, I go back and forth. Like, I do it here because it's not worth it to me to like separate it out. But at Fauna and my previous jobs, we actually tend to use Sass sheets. So styles. So all of these styles that we have here are accessible in components that are using Theme UI and rendered with this pragma, and this is basically is notation about that tells the compiler how to handle this. And you'll notice that here, even though we're creating a React component, we're actually not importing React, and that's because this is taking care of that for us. It's processing our JSX syntax like the React compiler would, but it's using Theme UI. How that works, not 100% sure. So we have all these styles, right? And I'm pretty sure they apply, last time I checked this, they apply to the markdown files. Hey, what's up, Ben? Welcome to the stream. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try something. So basically we wanna add styles to our A tags. And we wanna do something like text. I'm gonna do text transform just for fun. Uppercase. Let's see. Did it do it? It didn't. Interesting. Yeah, Ben, I'm just, ooh, it did do it. Why did it do it for one, but not for the other? Interesting. Also, it doesn't seem to be respecting these A rules. Yeah, Ben, I'm doing a little bit of that right now. I was trying to get my live stream package set up and it didn't work, so I'm gonna have to figure out why. Even though I watched somebody else do it on their stream and it worked fine. So this only is applying to the first A tag. That's very strange. Okay. But not this one. Why these, but not those? Oh, you know why? I know why. These are link tags. They're not A tags. Well, they boil down to A tags. But they're rendered by the link component. That's interesting. So it seems the theme UI color gets overridden. Okay. Well, so we know some of the stuff we want to do. Text, decoration, none. So at least some of these should no longer have that. Text direction, come on. That's not even what it is. Text decoration, none. Hmm. Isn't that how you get rid of underlines on links? What is going on here? Something is causing this to compute. Where's my computer? There it is. What is causing that? Yeah, something's definitely wonky. Where is that coming from? Inline. Okay. Instead of none, delete all CSS. I do have a style sheet in here somewhere, I think. Source? Static? Do I not? I really don't. Text decoration unset. Unset. Still none. Still doing the thing that it shouldn't be doing. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure I'm not doing something stupid. Okay. Okay. So apparently I don't know what this does. Why did I do it this way? Don't know. No, it should just reflect the changes. I think it's because of what I'm doing with the two different deals here. Okay, let's look for, so theme UI, there's an SX prop that components can take. So layout, display, got it. So this is our layout container, and in the header, we've been able to deactivate text decoration. None is working. That's the thing. I shouldn't have to do this for everything. I should be able to do it globally. Let's see. And I thought that's what this was doing. Like, that's how we're using all these things, like our accent color, our sidebar color, styles. Let's look at the theme UI docs again, because I forget exactly how that works. Let me look at my config, because I think I did some weird things here. I'm going to have to update this too, actually. That should match this. Let's do that right now. Okay. So this is what's getting all of our MDX files. This is how we're able to map it. We have a template that handles that for us. Gatsby theme UI. Okay, maybe. It's been a while since I've been in here doing this type of stuff. So layout. Oh boy. Look at that. That's what I need to do, I guess. Yo, what's up, Robert Tables? Yeah, it's your boy, the new team member. Trying to figure out what I did wrong. Text, decoration. Let's just set that to none. Yo, come on. I just did text transform and it did everything, but here it's not working. Unset. Let's try what Chris said. Come on. Chris, I know you'll take offense to this, but if I could never write CSS ever again, I would be very happy. I really don't. Just look, text decoration none. Look at that. Text decoration none. Computed text decoration color. Yeah, dude, for real. I need someone that not only likes it and but knows it, you know, like what the fuck? I thought this was going to be an easy one too, but apparently this is just going to be as bad as trying to use my own NPM package. That is ridiculous. Why does this work? That should, but something's going on here, because that clearly, the fact that in both places we've changed this and tried to style this, it worked partially. There's something else going on here. Background red. See, like that works with some of these links, but not these other links. Yeah, no, it's an extremely important skill. I'm not that person. I can get by, but when I talk to folks that actually specialize in that or are super passionate about it, it's pretty clear. Yeah, hey, I mean, it's just like different skill sets, but like they're equally important. Like I could write stuff that functions, but if it looks shitty and isn't accessible and people can't, like, what's the point? So that's red. So clearly some of these things are getting styled, right? Like these aren't, because I think they're the link tags that we have inside of our markup. So I don't know if we can do this because it's not officially a HTML tag, but maybe it's smart. Theme UI is smart enough to handle this. No, it's not. Yeah, man, I definitely agree with that. That's like when you go for like a JavaScript interview and they're asking you about like your back-end experience. It's like this different. It's different. Okay, can we just remove this text decoration? It just looks so gross. None. Just get rid of it. See, the red's working, but the text decoration isn't. So what is it about? What is it about this? Okay, I don't know what this song is, but skip. Text decoration line, none. Text decoration style. I thought that would take care of it as well. This is I just don't know CSS. Text decoration style. Nothing. Where's none? Yeah, it's an A tag. Yep. So, Angel, the A tags are getting styled by this theme UI. The background is working, but the text decoration isn't working. So something is giving them text decoration, but I'm not sure where that's coming from. Maybe I should have just done all this as a style sheet instead of what I did. Blog post template. MDX renderer. So that renders the post body. I wonder if I need to... I feel like if they tried to print it, it would just be like a 2-page sheet. Like front and back. MDX provider. And then there's the MDX renderer. What if we do this? Let's try this. Yeah, this is a mess. My style stuff is just a mess in here. A text decoration none. Just please do the thing. Oh, didn't even do anything. Is it this? Do I have to do that? This is one of those days. Just one of those days where I can't get anything right. This is not the place to do this anyway. It should be in this layout component. When I tried that, yeah, code. What about A? Text decoration. None. I feel like my Webpack server isn't even detecting changes at this point. So let's save that. Did it recompile? I don't think so. Oh, maybe it did. Okay. Look at that. So that works for all of them. So this is where I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it in the theme UI. Config. Get rid of this. So now we know that this is targeting all of the links in our posts. So it's working with the background, but again, text decoration does not work. But why? Why? Yeah, to display the code blocks, I am, Chris, like the big code blocks, but the inline code blocks are rendered this way, I believe. So, but they all, like, these are all A tags. They just happen to have a code tag in them, but these blocks here are rendered differently. So these are, the fact that they're all highlighting purple means that we're appropriately targeting them, but why they won't let me get rid of these. Like, does anybody use text decoration at all? Why is that? Can we not make it the default, please? Colors, 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 colors. Okay. Text decoration, none. Yet in the computed, text decoration color. That doesn't seem to do anything either. Why is it getting these values? Like I've never done it before. I haven't seen it, Ben. I didn't realize he was going to be on there, but that's a good person to have for sure. Text decoration none. Yes. Yeah. I wonder if it has to do with the Gatsby MDX renderer. So that's the layout. Here's our page template. Okay. Okay. MDX provider. MDX renderer. Gatsby plugin MDX. Oh, nice. Yeah, May 14th. Yeah, I mean, getting on LWJ at this point is, I mean, he's got people lined up forever. Where's Chris when you need him, right? Biscardi. He wrote this, so he would be probably someone who could tell us what's going on. Oh, yeah, well, let him have some fun. It's Friday, right? But yeah, something's going on. It's got to be something with that. Because why else would these just have a baked style that I can't get rid of? Because these are built in. It's just in here. So we have markdown links and we have some link components that are for the Gatsby routing. But there's nothing special about them. What is this typography thing? does this? WordPress. What? This is like a default file that came along with this. Let's see. Where are we even using this? Anywhere? In the Gatsby config. But why? I don't think we need this. So I'm going to take that out. And then I'm going to restart our server. Typography. That could be adding the styles. I mean, if it's named properly. All right. So, building, building, building. Hey, this got styled. That's cool, I guess. And these still are styled. Okay. So, wasn't this. Inject styles, but what styles?
Welcome to Call of the Wild.
Hey everyone, this is Musica's weekly radio show connecting you with some of your favorite artists.
Hey everyone, this is Kill Paris. Hey guys, this is Conroe.
What's up, guys? Deontay here.
And of course, a place where individuals like yourselves can take part in a global family.
Hey yo, this is Logan from Australia.
I'd like to shout out everyone who listens to Monster Cat and remind you that you're awesome.
So glad I'm here.
So get yourself ready for an hour of fresh music, and it all starts right now.
With nothing to hold us back, these are the songs of the wild.
Hey everybody, it's Katie from
What if I do this BS?
excited to be taking over this week's Call of the Wild in celebration of our debut album Butterfly Effect, which is
Doesn't respect that either. There's no respect. You know, just no respect. Yeah, that's how I feel. It's really starting to make me mad. This is why I don't like styling. It doesn't, no matter where, when, how I'm styling, it just never works. Never a good experience. On hover, it takes off the text decoration, but where's that coming from? There's got to be a rule somewhere defining that, but I can't seem to find any of them. Hover. Box shadow? It's a box shadow. That's what it is. It's not an... Wow. Let's try it here. This is where it should be. Wow. Non. All right, so it worked for the links that are being rendered as A tags, but because we want to do that in our layout as well, so we're going to need to do box shadow. So we essentially have to define it twice, which is like against sort of not the point of what we're trying to do, but right now let's just, okay, cool, they're gone. And actually, we probably can take them out of the theme UI since this is the layout. Yeah, Angel, like the only way I ever can center stuff is with flex. Yeah, and vertically centering, like if I interview you and you come in and you can show me how to center stuff vertically, like done. You get it. You got the job. What color should I use here? Actually, this would be good. So link, this is in the header. Let's see. For the main container, which has the header and the children. So this is a CSS prop, not SX, so I can't actually access a color var. Because like what we could do here is use the same accent color that we're using for or the same, color we're using for our sidebar. Well, we could use the accent color too. Sidebar is probably better. But SX props are the only ones that take these values. Let's just do it this way. Like I said, I'm going to have to redo a lot of this anyway because Ryan Warner and I are going to have some fun. That's not how you do that. Cool. So I think that looks okay. Ryan Warner does it all, yeah. Ryan Warner chats. Okay, let's do a hover and change the color. And I'll just use this red color that I have as an accent. Again, this will change. I just want to make it look a little better than it does currently. So that doesn't work that way, I guess. Do I have to do it? I feel like my app's updating, but it's not reloading. Do I have to do it like this in here? Yeah, maybe. So used to SAS, just doing everything nested. Hey, see you, Chris. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good weekend, my friend. Still nothing. Why is that? I must be doing this wrong. Excuse me. So you can use the and selector to select the current class. Okay. Object styles. Yeah, this is what I need. Ah, okay. I think. that's object notation. CSS prop. Yeah, this is what I want to do. String styles. That's what we're doing. Yeah, so we want that. Okay, that's just a TypeScript thing. But yeah, that's what it looks like we need to do. Okay. But no. Oh, this is not a string. And still nothing. You ever get that feeling where it's like, why is nothing refreshing? It's definitely how I'm doing it elsewhere, but okay. Oh, that's why. There we go. Okay, cool. That was a long winding road. So we want to add our layout. We want to add our theme index. And we'll commit that and say fix link stylings. Let's see what else we have. We also updated git add Gatsby config. Update description for manifest. Cool. The only thing we didn't get working thus far was my npm package, so you know. But we can close this issue now. Just wondering if there's anything quick we can do. Yeah, let's do this one. I've been meaning to add this one. So we have a time to read prop, or hold on one second. Let me get my mind right before we talk about this. So in our GraphQL query, where we're filtering for all of our blog posts on our blog roll, we can actually open localhost 8000 and do, I think it's graphical, yes. So this is the query that we run that gets all of our articles. But if we look over here in the Explorer, there's an additional field called time to read. And by clicking that, what I did is it just adds it here. And if we run our query again, we'll see that there is a, excuse all this stuff. There's a time to read, which is minutes, how long the estimated time in minutes that it'll take you to read. And that's something you see commonly on like Medium. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add this to our query. So now we have it as part of our props. So actually our node has all of these fields on it. So we're getting the time to read. And what we can do is, so we have an article, we have a header with the title. Let's see, what else we got? Ooh, I definitely don't want that. Yeah, I'm gonna remove that, actually. The hover style can stay gone. Components, layout, JS, remove link hover style because it looked gross. Cool. So these are all now the color that they shouldn't be because they are links. So I'm gonna have to fix that. That's for layout, but on our index page, we can just say for all articles, color black. There we go. Cool. I think we might have even added a value for that. Nope. Okay, cool. Just do that. And we can actually use, is it FFF or 000? I always forget. Yep, it's 000. Oop. Too many? Nope, not enough. There we go. Okay. Cool. So that looks okay. Now what we'll do is we want to add time to read something and we add it like over here by the tags. So let's see, we create our tags in this UL. Let's collapse that. That's the end of the section, which is the date. Okay. Okay, let's just do this. No.time to read. So now we have these numerical values based on, and it's based on the length of each article. You can see most of my articles are not too long. So that's good. Okay, let's go back here. And what we actually want to do is we actually want it to say mins or minutes. And actually what we could do is we could even make this a little nicer. So time to read, if it's greater than 1, we're going to want it to say node time. Or, you know what? We can make this even simpler. So it's always going to be the time to read. And then what we're going to do here is we'll do some logic. If the node.time to read is greater than 1, we want to pluralize. So it should be mins. Otherwise, that means it's 1. So we want it to say min. And there are libraries that do this for you, but we're just doing this manually right now. 2 mins, 4 mins, 2 mins, 2 mins, 1 min. So that works. And then I think what we want to do is we want this to be a div. And we'll make this a span. Cool. And then let's see. Let's just do CSS equals CSS. Position, absolute, right 0, bottom 0. So this should move it to our bottom right corner. Oh, I deleted something. Yes, okay. Ooh. So they all went there, because that means that essentially the container around them, the article, needs a position relative, because position absolute positions itself within its closest parent that's relative. So this looks okay. But what we should do is we should actually space it off of there a little bit. So maybe we give it like 4 picks, 4 picks. So it's a little away from the edge. Or what we could do is, I guess we could put it in this same, this could become a flex container. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to absolutely position this. And this will be the last thing that we're going to do today, just because we got held up with some other stuff. But given the fact that we all can't go outside too much right now, maybe what we'll do is do some more this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. So we're going to take this UL and the div I just created, and we're going to move them inside this div. So let's take this, all this down to there. Okay. So now these should be in the same div, which they are. And then we're going to make that div a flex item. CSS. Display flex. Let's do it. So they're right there, but what we want to do is we actually want them to be, so justify content, I think it's space between. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, so that pushes them apart. So now they both sit on different edges. And one thing we might want to do here is, it seems that the font size here is 16. Let's make sure this is 16. It is, but let's actually make it a little less. And this we might actually be able to use this theme for. So we have all these different font sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it goes. I don't think it's 0 indexed, but we'll have to double check that. And you can see here, different breakpoints. Use different values. So in our time to read, that was so this can take an SX prop, and that's from, this is where we're going to get values from theme UI as opposed to just writing. So you see font size 1, 2. So that means that basically at mobile it will use the font size 1, at this size 2. So I think we're going to do something similar. Or maybe we just want it to always be 1. So that's 14. So it is 0 index. So we actually want it to be 0. And then this should be 12 font. 12, the pixel count for that font should be 12. And then we have this display, align content. Let's see, which is it, align content or align items? Align items. Angel, I don't know if you're still in the stream, but this is how I do styles. Okay, looks like that's not the case. So let's just call it that and say that works. Get status, get diff. Okay. So get add time to read to blog index cards. So now we should trigger a build. Updates are rejected because the remote contains work that you don't have. Okay, get stash, get pull, get push origin master. Okay, so this is going to trigger a build in Netlify. Let's just double check that it works. Hey. It says I got 0 viewers in the chat, but maybe that count is wrong, so. Alright, let's see. So we don't need this anymore. We don't need that. We can get rid of graphical. We can get rid of that. Oh, actually, we're gonna mark this as closed, because we did that. So let's see. We got a production build going out here. Okay, cool. Thanks, Angel. I appreciate you hanging out. This is gonna be the last thing we do, so almost done. I just want to make sure the build works properly. And for anybody that's not familiar, I use Netlify for my stuff, and it's a great experience. As you can see, it just triggered a build just by pushing to master. If you create a different branch and do a pull request against master, it'll spin up its own preview environment so that people can check it out before you publish, which is great. And then just merge the PR and boom, you got a new production build going out too. All right, let's see what's going on Twitter while that finishes off. Cool. All right. Almost there. Yeah, Angel. So I should have mentioned that, and I'll drop a link here for you. So these are all custom, but so I recently started organizing my dot files, my configuration files, custom script stuff here in a dot files repo. So if you want to look in here, Angel, you can see some of my setup. But that specific thing is done via my ZSH config, which is if you have a bash system, if you're using bash, it would be in your bash RC as opposed to your ZSH RC. But you would be able to do the exact same things. I have these aliases, which basically are just the acronyms for the Git commands. But then I also have stuff like, hey, I have a dot file script called fauna PRs sh, but I alias it so that if I wanted to, I could just do fauna PRs. And then this goes through all of the repos that I work with at Fauna and returns to me information about them with the GitHub CLI. Okay, cool. It's published. Time to read. Colors are better. Cool. Looks like we did it. All right, y'all, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. We didn't get everything done we wanted to, but we got some things done. So, again, I'm Ryan. Really appreciate you hanging out. Again, like I mentioned at the top of the stream, I have a new article out today for the React Hook use memo. So if you're learning hooks, feel free to take a look. Let me know what you think. And thanks again for joining. This is my first stream as a member of the Live Coders. It was a lot of fun. Hope you come back next week for another one, and we'll either continue working on the site or we'll do something else cool. So hit me up on Twitter. I am Ryan C. Harris, as you can tell right here. And let me know what you want to see on stream. I'm happy to spin up new projects, workout stuff that people are interested in. So hit me up, and otherwise have a good weekend and stay safe. Peace.